hit? Where y'all been hit? I got officer hit at this time.
Be like, there's gonna be a Fulton County unit shot. A Fulton County unit shot.
Atlanta police swarm a downtown block looking for a gunman and the deputy he shot.
Is the officer here? No, he gone to Grady.
Hey, officer going to Grady already.
And I returned fire.
Watson says he saw an armed man chasing his brother and fired at who he thought was an attacker, not a cop.
Now, this is something that I thought I'd never see. A citizen shoots a cop because the citizen was defending another citizen when the cop was not doing his job properly, and the citizen walked free. What happened?
Where y'all been hit? I got officer hit at this time.
Be like, there's gonna be a Fulton County unit shot. A Fulton County unit shot.
Atlanta police swarm a downtown block looking for a gunman and the deputy he shot.
Is the officer here? No, he gone to Grady.
Hey, officer going to Grady already.
One GSW to the lower leg. He's fine.
The undercover Honda right here.
It all happened next to this unmarked Honda with the police lights.
So just a heads up, while watching the video, remember this portion where you see that unmarked Honda with the police lights flashing. Remember that as we get towards the end of the video. Tell me what you see differently.
The deputy chasing a suspect who ran from him.
The deputy was assisting with a call for a suspicious person in the area.
Of course, with him being an unmarked, he was able to locate the dude. Okay. And I don't know if he tried to approach him or what, but shots were fired, he ended up getting hit.
A Fulton County deputy was shot in what police say was a drive-by shooting.
The deputy was shot from a moving car before the suspect drove off.
And is expected to make a full recovery.
Right now, the perp is still at large.
The sheriff, Pat Labat, promised swift justice.
We're going to get this young man, and we're going to hold him accountable.
So the sheriff is emphatically saying that they're going to hold this young man who shot this deputy responsible. And from their perspective, he should be held responsible because you do not shoot a cop. No one shoots a cop and gets away with it. And therefore, they're going to hold him responsible. Just like I told you earlier to remember those flashing lights when we get to the end of the video. Also remember this statement that was just made by the sheriff.
Either we're going to find him or he's going to be found. Either we're going to find him or he's going to be found.
The next day, troopers stopped the suspect car.
Believed to be the car involved in this drive-by shooting. A male and female were detained for questioning.
This is the shooter. Ivan Watson admitted it during a 4.5-hour interrogation by Atlanta police.
I mean, got the car, I said, leave him alone. And then he turned the gun toward me and shot. And I returned fire.
Watson says he saw an armed man chasing his brother and fired at who he thought was an attacker, not a cop.
When I came down the street, I seen when he had guns.
How you know it's an officer?
The news.
And as you heard a little bit ago, the one cop saying, either we're going to find him or he's going to be found. And if you don't get what that means, that was a threat. That means either they're going to find him or something's going to happen to him. And that's live on the body cam. And no one made a big deal about that. That is a threat on this man's life. And now we hear that this guy did not even know it was a police officer that he was shooting at, because why? The cop was doing his job properly. He never announces himself as a police officer, and he's chasing someone in an unmarked vehicle. How is this guy supposed to know who you are?
You know, that other day, he jumped the curb. He jumped the curb. How about when he jumped the curb? I got the car with the gun, like my brother just, you know, like a car, he finna shoot him. And I said, how about the car with the gun? Like, leave him alone. Like, leave him alone. And he turned the gun toward me and shot. And I shot back.
You said he shot at you first?
Yeah, he shot first. I said, leave, before I even shot, I said, leave him alone. And he shot. He shot first. I had every kind of recording, the cameras or whatever. Y'all see he shot first. But if he would have said, I'm an officer, I didn't think I would have shit up for leave.
How many times he shot at you?
Well, he only got one time to get out. I just, I was scared him.
You hear the cop ask him, how many times did you shoot at the deputy? Doesn't matter. The deputy opened fire and he can defend himself. There's no law stating that he can only return, let's say, 2 or 3 shots to save his own life. No, he's trying to protect himself, or as the law states, a person is justified in using deadly force when he or she is trying to prevent death or serious bodily harm to themselves or a third party.
So what really happened here? On one hand, investigators had the word of an admitted shooter who said he'd been in and out of jail since he was 15 years old. And on the other hand, they had this written statement from a career deputy who claimed he never fired his weapon that day. But from day one, investigators had something else. Surveillance video of the shooting itself. Video Atlanta police still refuse to give us more than a year later. Video you can see now because we obtained it from a source inside the sheriff's office. That's Watson's brother running down the street. The deputy's unmarked car in hot pursuit. The video capturing no lights or sirens. The video capturing no lights or sirens. Deputy Evans LaFond jumps out of the Honda in plain clothes, holding the brother at gunpoint just out of frame. Deputy LaFond is hit in the lower leg, drops his gun and tries to run for cover, then identifies himself as an officer. Atlanta police concluded, quote, video evidence shows Sheriff Officer Evans LaFond not identifying himself as a police officer to Mr. Watson before firing his weapon.
So there's proof. He did not identify himself as a police officer. He's chasing a guy down the street in an unmarked car. He doesn't have any clothing or badges, anything showing that shows he's a police officer. And along comes this guy's brother, happens to be his brother, and sees some guy, random individual, aiming a gun at his brother. So yeah, he comes to his defense. And you, Mr. Deputy, fired the shot first, and the guy returned fire. And so let's see, now that all of these facts are coming out, remember the sheriff who's going to hold these guys, the one that shot the deputy, who's going to hold him accountable? Let's see what happens now.
I've been hit, Ray. I've been hit.
You never got a chance to fire. It's like his leg shot in the lower leg.
The deputy's written statement says, I did not discharge my weapon during the incident.
Did he discharge fire? Did your officer?
I don't know.
Y'all might come out for that. Yeah, because there's a separate shell case in there.
A single 9mm shell casing was found next to LaFond's unmarked police car, separate from a dozen .40 caliber shell casings where the shooter had been.
Stay right here until we get somebody to mark this.
Yeah, this is the only one that's here.
The Atlanta police incident report shows LaFond fired his weapon. Before backup arrived, someone turned on LaFond's siren. Atlanta police determined, quote, the footage also shows Sheriff Officer LaFond getting help from a bystander putting on his police equipment before additional police arrived on the scene.
So it seems like he knows that he messed up. You knew that you were not doing your job properly. So when you got shot, now you're having people help you put on your equipment, turn on your sirens, and turn on your lights, because you did not do any of that. So now, to me, this is the part where he's covering himself and attempting to set up the citizen who was simply defending himself and his brother.
At this time, and I'm sorry, let me put on you.
Okay. What about her?
Neither one of y'all.
We going home?
Yes.
Ivan Watson and his girlfriend were released without charges, and the case was closed.
They gonna let you get the car. So they let you go home, they let both of us go.
Sheriff Labatt, who had promised accountability after the shooting, gave the recovering deputy a commendation for bravery, and later promoted LaFond to sergeant.
Now let me see the hands of everyone who's surprised by this. When you thought it was someone else, a law-abiding citizen, who shot a deputy, you were willing to hold him accountable. Now that you find out it's your deputy who opened fire first, did not identify himself as a deputy, did not have any markings showing that he was a police officer, while driving in an unmarked car, holding people at gunpoint, he gets an award and promoted. But as we always say, This is policing in America. If it's you, you're going to jail or worse. But if it's them, they're going to get an award and promoted. This is why you have to know your rights and protect yourself. Because if some day an unidentified police officer pulls up, holds you at gunpoint, and your brother just happens to pass by and tells this guy to stop or whatever happens, and the guy shoots at your brother defends himself. Can you just imagine what would have happened if that video did not exist? This guy, the brother who actually shot the deputy, would probably be in, we don't know how long, probably 10, 15, 20 years, who knows, prison or worse. We don't know. We don't know how that would have played out. Thank God for the video. Policing in America doesn't work out the same way for me or you. Know your rights, protect yourself. With that being said, we the people you, signing off.